well in this time of quarantine. So I was asking B if that's the right word to use though.
You can just say during quarantine.
During quarantine.
Yeah.
During quarantine. And we don't want to waste much of your time, but we hope that you guys are doing well in this time. And
yeah, comment and tell us, like, how is it going?
How
are you feeling like you're connected with God, or do you feel like so distant?
Yeah.
So a lot of things to do.
Are there dreams that are like, that you're inspired to do after this time? Or what's up, Tell us. So, today is day 3, not day 3.
Yes, day 3
is it day 3?
Of our devotional.
Okay, of our devotional.
Not of the lockdown.
But day 3 or the third video of our devotional. And today we are going to be looking at a story found in John chapter 5. And the summary of it all is that Jesus is not under lockdown. So it's taken the story from John chapter 5, and B is going to read for us from verse 1 to verse 8. And then she's going to read one more verse.
Which translation is this?
That's the NLT.
Okay.
It's your Bible though.
No, this isn't my Bible. It's a
Bible
that
says what?
Lindani
and Gutmela.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
Thank you. From verse 1 until?
Verse 1 till 8.
Wow, so much reading. Okay.
It's not.
Is this 7?
That is 7.
Okay.
It's not long, eh?
Afterwards, Jesus returned to Jerusalem for one of the Jewish holidays. Inside the city near the sheep gate was the pool of Bethesda with 5 covered porches. Crowds of sick people, blind, lame, or paralyzed, lay on the porches. One of the men lying there had been sick for 38 years. When Jesus saw him and knew he had been ill for a long time, he asked him, Would you like to get well? 7. I can't, sir, the sick man said, for I have no one to put me into the pool when the water bubbles up. Someone else always gets there ahead of me. First aid, Jesus told him, stand up, pick up your mat, and walk.
Awesome. Can you just read 2 more verses, 16 and 17?
16 says, So the Jewish leaders began harassing Jesus for breaking the Sabbath rules. But Jesus replied, My Father is always working, and so am I.
So, what happens, just a quick summary of the story, is that there was a person who was sick for 38 years. And I like the fact that Jesus goes to a place where there are a lot of people who are sick. There's people who are blind, there's people who are deaf, there's people who cannot walk. And Jesus enters into those places. And for me, that is really quite significant, because Jesus is attracted to people who cannot stand up for themselves in a way. That, he approaches us, people. And I believe that no one is perfect. So we have some sort of, hear what I'm saying. I'm not saying it might be a physical thing, but we all possibly have some sort of disabilities. And we cannot stand up for ourselves, or some things we are blinded from, some things we're deaf from, some areas we cannot walk in life, but Jesus comes in to those very areas to help us in those areas. But then there's a guy who's been sick for 38 years, and Jesus comes to this guy and says, stand up, pick up your mat, and start walking. And I think for me that is encouraging, because maybe this guy has been waiting for 38 years of his life for somebody just to see his potential and speak into that and say, hey, stand up, pick up your mat, and walk. Because I think most of the times a lot of people see our potential, but we don't. And we're blinded by that. And we need someone who can just say, dude, stand up, pick up your mat, start walking. That's Azzy, by the way. He's like, yeah, Dad. So stand up, pick up your mat, and start. And your mat symbolizes your story. That's why they picked up his mat, because wherever he goes, he can share. Hey, I was on this mat for 38 years. Jesus came into my picture, and now I'm walking. So that's what it means. But the message that I really wanted to conclude or leave you with today is in verse 16 and 17, which thus states in verse 17 that my Father and I are working even to this day. That Jesus is not limited to the rules of the Sabbath, because yes, the Sabbath was his instruction given to humanity, but then humanity then twisted the instructions and made it humanized and added their form of laws in that. But Jesus is not limited to human instructions. Yes,
Yeah.
we are in lockdown, but it doesn't mean that Jesus is locked down from heaven and he's not moving. He's moving today. He's working to this day.
Yeah, if anything, I think we should really use this time to face ourselves. And I know we keep saying this, but I think it's important for us to keep reiterating it, because in this season, everyone is almost going through some sort of trauma, because this isn't normal. This is out of the norm, and like, we are not really experiencing everyday living, and it could be easy for you to be thrown off of stuff. So I think we must use this time to remember that Jesus is outside of the time.
Sure.
You know, like, he's outside of, like, he's not constricted with this time, and we can access him anytime. If anything, this is the right time to be with him, because we don't have too many distractions. Let's just say, yeah.
That's good. Like, she summarized it so well. So yeah, man, I think that for me, because of what we shared last week on serving and just your simple acts of serving, even through your words, and how many people are just waiting for you to speak to them and say, hey, pick up your mat, start walking. I see the potential in you. Come on now, get up. You can do this, you know? So that's our boy.
That's
our
cue
cue
for us to close it.
for bounce. Done.
Don't forget to subscribe, like, and leave your comments below. Thank you so much for joining us again.
And Friday you sharing.
Oh, I'm sharing on Friday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Stay tuned.
We out.
Bye.